So good afternoon. Today we are just going to see the case study on the smart grid, which is a pilot initiative which is taken in Puducherry. Now, before moving into the discussion, now a smart grid, it's nothing but the application of the latest information and communication technologies to the existing grid. So to make the existing grid smarter, to enhance the two-way communication between the consumer and the utility. So smart grids plays a major role in the future electrical utility. So now the smart grid vision for India, now it's like transform the Indian power sector into a secure, adaptive, sustainable and digitally enabled ecosystem that provides reliable and quality energy for all with active participation of the stakeholders. So just to transform the Indian power sector into a smarter grid. So that is the main vision for India. Now in order to enable this vision, now several pilot projects are implemented. Around 14 pilot projects were implemented across the country. That is 14 distribution utilities and the electricity department, and Puducherry is one among them. So in this case study, we are just going to discuss about the smart grid initiative at Puducherry. Now the Ministry of Power, now they have approved the implementation of the project at a cost of around 46.11 crores. Now under this pilot project, now it is planned to develop a consumer utility initiative smart grid, which will cover smart metering and control through advanced metering infrastructure and have additional features like the peak load management, net metering, etc. Now this diagram, it just shows the conceptual model of a smart grid, how a smart grid, the pilot grid to be implemented at Puducherry, how it looks. Now I can see, now we have the bulk generation part, fine, and then the transmission distribution, now which is nothing but the existing system, and then we have the customers, that is the end users. Now this existing system, now it is going to be smarter. Now where you can see, now we have market participation and the service provider and the central authority which is looking after the operations. Now here the blue lines, it indicates the secure communication interface, and then the yellow dotted lines, it indicates the electrical interface which is already available, and then all the domains. So this, it is a conceptual model, a small model how your smart grid will look. Now in Puducherry, now the electricity distribution, now it is not unbundled. So we have not done anything with the distribution system, and the distribution, it is divided into 10 divisions for effective operation and maintenance. So this smart grid pilot project, now it just covers only one division, that is division 1, which covers all the features of a smart grid like the advanced metering structure, the peak load management, the outage management system, the power quality management and renewable energy integration and its energy storage. So we have just considered only one division, now wherein the features of all the features of the smart grids, all the features are being implemented into this pilot project. Now totally there are 87,035 numbers of consumers with that division 1. Predominantly they are all domestic consumers, that is around 80% of them are domestic consumers, and the few 20% they are commercial, HT, agriculture, and then the municipal load like the street lighting, etc. Now the entire area is supplied by one number of 110 bar 22 bar 11 kV substation, now which feeds to 7 numbers of 22 kV overhead feeders, 5 numbers of 11 kV underground cable feeders, 325 numbers of distribution transformers handling a total load of 127.8 MVA, megavolt ampere. So this, it is the setup of the division 1. Now what are the, how many consumers are there, what type of consumers, and how the structure of the system is being over there. Now here you can see the architecture, how the architecture of the smart grid, the pilot project being implemented. So smart meters, they are all fixed in all the consumer end. The consumer end, we have all the smart meters, and then the data concentrator unit. Now what they do is they collect the data from the smart meters. Now they are all connected through a communication technology. Now there are various communication technologies. So you can see we use radio frequency, we use power line carrier communication, that is nothing but converting the existing line to carry information. And then we have general packet radio service, that is GPRS. Apart from that, now we have Zigbee and so many other communication technologies now which collects the data from the consumers and could put into the local servers. Now all the consumption data and the customer information, they are all available at the that is the database, the data management system. Now you can see we have MDMS, MDAS, all these are database management system where the data collected from the consumers and the network, they are all stored in this system. So this is the basic architecture of our smart grid system. Now the main objective of this pilot project is to improve, that is the system advanced metering infrastructure. Now wherein the smart meters are installed at each and every consumer part. Peak load management, so to manage the peak load effectively and efficiently, and to power quality management, that is the third objective, that is to enhance the power quality of the supply to provide reliable supply to the consumers. And then outage management system, due to any undue incident, now if there is outage, now how to manage the system, so there is outage management system. And then the SCADA system to collect the data, control and provide that is the entire protection to the system. Energy storage system, now wherein we have the renewable energy part which is playing a major role in smart grid system. Street lighting, effective utilization of street lighting, and then the electric vehicle where we can provide vehicle to grid, that is charging, discharging, everything can be done with the electric vehicle. So these are the main objectives of this pilot smart grid. Now what were the major challenges? So the major challenges, it includes the interoperability, the cyber security, the communication technologies, the social barriers and the political barriers. So interoperability, now smart grids, it's a global concern. So the meters and other components what we are using in a smart grid has to be interoperable. So any brand, anything, it has to be fit into the system. So interoperability is a major challenge in implementation. And then cyber security, as I told you, the advancement in communication and information technologies. Now cyber crime is unavoidable. So the system has to be fully secured. So cyber security plays a very major role in this. And then communication technologies, as I told you, we have the radio services, and then we have the GPRS. Now we have the PLC, that is power line carriers, which I have already told you we are not going to disturb any existing system. Instead, we are going to send messages through the existing system. And then we have the social barriers, now wherein the participation from the end users, now that is very much appreciated. So clear awareness program regarding the smart grids, what are its advantages, everything has to be taught to the end users. And then finally political barriers, wherein the cost of implementation, as I told you, the small pilot project, it costs around 45 crores. So therefore a lot of cost is involved in implementation of the smart grids. So the return on investment, now everything has to be kept in mind in order to make the project a successful one. So this is a small case study on the implementation of the smart grid in Puducherry. So thank you very much.